Welcome to your math channel. Here you learn math by solving exercises in a practical and straightforward way. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment on what you want to see in the next videos. Today we have a test question. Let's get started. The city hall of a small town in the countryside has decided to install light poles along a straight road that starts at a central square and ends at a farm in the rural area. Since the square is already lit, the first pole will be placed 80 meters from the square, the second at 100 meters, the third at 120 meters, and so on, always keeping a distance of 20 meters between the poles, until the last pole is placed at a distance of 1,380 meters from the square. If the city hall can pay a maximum of $8,000 per pole installed, what is the highest amount they could spend on installing these poles? What will the answer be? Let's go. First, let's identify the terms here. The poles start being placed at 80 meters from the square, so let's call that A1. A 1 is equal to 80. The last pole is placed at 1,380. We don't know how many there are, so let's call it an equals 1,380. Each pole costs 8,000 and the distance between them is 20 meters. First, it starts at 80, the second is 100 meters, the third is 120, so the difference between them is 20 meters. Well, we've identified an arithmetic progression here, as you can see, whose formula is an equals a 1 plus n minus 1 times the common difference. Let's substitute the values now. And is 1,380 equal to 80 plus n minus 1 times the common difference, which is 20. So let's start here by doing the multiplication. It will be 20 times n, which is 20n, and 20 times minus 1, which is minus 20. So it becomes 1,380 equals 80 plus 20n minus 20. We can simplify here. 80 minus 20 is 60. So it becomes 1,380 equals 20n plus 60. Now let's switch the terms here. Move the n to the left side and leave the numbers on the right side. So the 20n that is positive here becomes minus 20n equals 1,380, which is positive, but when it moves to the other side it becomes negative, so it's minus 1,380 plus 60. Now let's solve these two. Since the signs are different, we subtract. So repeat, minus 20n equals 1,380 plus 60, which becomes minus 1,320. So we have minus 20n equals minus 1,320. Here we have a multiplication, so when we move it to the other side it becomes a division. So n equals minus 1,320 divided by minus 20. We can cancel the zeros at the end, so it becomes minus 132 over minus 2. So now let's do this division. Minus 132 divided by minus 2. A negative divided by a negative gives a positive, right? So can 1 be divided by 2? No, bring down the 13. 13 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. Bring down the 2. 12 times 2 equals 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. So n equals 66. Now, is this the final answer? No, we still need to calculate the total amount spent, the maximum spent. If we have 66 poles and each pole costs 8,000, we just need to multiply here to find the answer. The 0, any number multiplied by 0 is 0. So just put 0, 0, 0 here and start multiplying by 8. 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 4 is 52. So the correct answer is 528,000, which is letter C. So letter C is the correct answer. That's the maximum amount that can be spent on the poles. All right, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and drop a comment. See you in the next video.